Hey guys, how's it going? 10 years ago, I was in massive depression and I wanted to figure out any way to get myself out of this situation, out of this mentality. Why was I so hard on myself? Why did I beat myself up constantly? Why did I have this need to overachieve? And how did it prevent me from having a truly loving and caring life? When I was young, I had terrible depression and it really caused a lot of trouble in my life. It was bad enough for me to want to look for a way out, for me to want to fix this. Now, my journey to 27 years of age, from 18 years of age, has been a very long route. I decided at 18 I was not happy with my current circumstances and I wanted to change it. Now, to change my circumstances, I had to change me. And to change me, I had to understand myself. Because what can you not fix that you don't understand? So I went down this long journey, this 8-year-long journey of me obsessively trying to figure out myself. This long journey to try to break down this puzzle piece, this Rubik's Cube that was me, that was other people. Now, down this journey, I had learned success with women. I had learned success with myself and how to truly get rid of my depression. And I've ultimately started understanding other people. If I wanted to fix my external, I had to fix my internal. And the only way to fix myself was to understand myself. If I didn't understand how I worked and what my mechanisms were, what my inner drives were, how could I fix it? The information I'm about to give you guys is the information that ultimately cured my depression, that helped me find my purpose in life. This video is a collage of everything that I have ever learned about intrapersonal intelligence and understanding myself. What I found time and time again is the external is a reflection of the internal. If you guys want to change the external, you have to change the internal. And if you change the internal, you have to firstly understand what it is that you're working with. You can't work on an engine if you don't know how the engine works. With that being said, let's get into the video.
Yeah, I confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living.
Now, like I said, this video is kind of a collage of a lot of different things that I learned to help me manipulate myself. I've worked out this conversation multiple times. I worked out this speech, and I found the best place to start is in evolutionary psychology. You are a very advanced ape. We all are advanced apes. Now, we started off as Homo australopithecine, went to Homo erectus, then Homo habilis, and then us. Pretty ways down the way. Now, what caused us to be this way? Now, we are a hunter-gatherer species. And as a hunter-gatherer species, we are very tribe-like. Now, we have worked through 200,000 years as being Homo sapiens, and we've worked through multiple different tribes. And if you want to get technical, Homo sapiens in general, like our species, Homo, I'm not even gonna make the joke, Homo in general, we have been around for 2 million years. Okay, so we have 2 million years of us being tribe-like, of us working together in groups like this. Now, what as a baby human is the perfect genetic little recipe for us? The best genetic recipe for a human baby is the ability to adapt to whatever tribe you were born in, because there are so many different cultures, so many different types of technological advances that we've gone through and worked through as a human species together. So what do I mean by this? Now, if you're born into a tribe, you don't know as this little software, this little genetic software that you're born as, you don't know what you're gonna be born in. You don't know what the tribe's gonna be like. You don't know what kind of advances you're gonna need. You don't know if you're gonna be a fisherman tribe, if you're gonna be a hunting tribe. You don't know if you're gonna be a farming tribe. You don't know what you're born into, and you don't know what the faux pas are of that tribe. You just wanna be born and be able to find yourself a niche. Now, how do you find a niche? This is my own theory. I call this the fisherman idol. Now, let's say you're born into a tribe. All right, you're born as a baby into a tribe. Now, you are trying to figure out a good little piece in this tribe to fit in, somewhere where you're gonna find a little good niche. Why? Because us as a human species, what do we want? We want survival and replication. How do you get survival and replication as a human? You find a very good niche in your tribe. Now, as a male, how do males get rewarded? By social status. Men with social status get rewarded. So if you're a male baby born into a tribe, if you can find a niche in that tribe really well and you can fit really well into the gears of that system, and you're one of the more prosperous gears and you give the most to your tribe, there's a very likely chance that you're gonna have all the women after you and you're gonna have all the males on your side. As a baby, would it make sense for you to study something that you don't think is gonna fit you very well into the machine of this tribe? Let's say that there's some guys like, hey, you know what, that guy, the fisherman, may be getting all the bitches. However, let's learn how to garden. Let's learn how to pull weeds. Let's learn how to pick chestnuts off the ground. And you're like, No, okay? I've seen all the guys who pick chestnuts. I know those guys do very good in the tribe. I want to learn to be a fisherman because that guy's the rock star of our tribe. I want to learn to be that guy. So what happens? You get a lock-in into that area. Your brain sees how that becoming this can get you love from your tribe. Now, anything else gets to the wayside, all right? Learning how to pick chestnuts off the ground, learning to maybe move dirt, maybe to build like hovels, maybe it's not as important as fishing. Maybe fishing to you is your one thing. So what does your brain do? It becomes your lock-in. Now, I'm gonna explain it to you like this. Now, you probably have subjects in school that you really love doing. Then you probably had subjects you really hated. Now, subjects you really loved, what happened? You absorbed them, you learned them super fast. Then, when it came to the subjects you didn't like, what happened? They would just be washing over you and be tough for you to absorb the information and to make you feel stupid. Now, ultimately, this is actually what I call lock-in. It's like your brain sees how something like a subject can get you love from the tribe. So it's like, all right, let's absorb the shit out of this. For me, learning social dynamics, learning evolutionary biology, for me, was my lock-in. Anytime I hear anything about this, it just instantly locks into my brain. It's just right there. Like, I remember everything I ever heard about this. However, if you're to ask me about trigonometry, I wouldn't know squat. I wouldn't know shit about trigonometry because my brain did not find love of the tribe from trigonometry. It didn't think, hey, if you learn trigonometry, everybody's gonna love you. You're gonna get everybody's admiration for learning trigonometry. No, my brain didn't see that. My brain saw that if I learned this, that everybody'd love me. So then it's like, okay, cool, this is your lock-in. The way your brain works is that it wants to get as much reward for as little energy as you possibly can get. Now, if I'm learning trigonometry, it's a lot of energy for very little reward. So it doesn't see the bypass. It doesn't see the proper exchange of energy. So it just doesn't want me to learn it. So it makes it very boring for me to do. And instead, it teaches me that things that are very fun are things that are gonna get me love from my tribe. So maybe for you, it's rock and roll. Maybe you see those rock and rollers on stage, and so you start learning music. Generally speaking, everything you love doing, you think, at least your biological brain thinks, that's gonna get you love from the tribe. Something in your past told you that if you do this, you're gonna get love from your tribe. And my guess is it's from finding an idol that was originally really good at this, and you saw that he got admiration and love from the tribe. So then you're like, well, cool. If I learn what he learns, then I will get admiration and love from the tribe. You can actually break down everything you do to trying to get love from the tribe, trying to get survival and replication, which us as a human, if you're kicked out of your tribe, you're pretty much as good as dead, at least back in the old days. So if you lose love of the tribe, you're fucked. And now, if you also get love and admiration from the tribe, what do you get? You get all the women. If you're a woman, you get the top of the top guy. You get the best man because you are fitting in that gear very well and you're very loved. Now, this is gonna be the cornerstone on which I build everything else upon. For the most part, I think that we overlook way too much about our evolution and where we come from. We like to think of ourselves as separate from other animal species. We're not. We're just different. We're just quirked a little bit differently, just simply for this reason. Nothing else is as contagious as us. Now, I'm gonna give you some examples. Now, the human face has 56 minor and major expressions. The only creature that's close to us is the chimpanzee. The chimpanzee has 11. 11. It can't do this, it can't do that. It can't express how it's feeling, at least not to the extent we can. You see how I have hair on my eyebrows? It's so you can see me express from long distance. Neanderthals couldn't do this. They couldn't move their eyebrows. So we fucked them up. We killed them. We destroyed them and took their land. We also have whites in our eyes. The whites in your eyes allow you to see where I'm looking. So if I'm looking at something, reticular activation system, humans look at something of value or threat. You're gonna be like, if I'm looking really scared over here, there's something really scary over here. It could be a panther. We all come together and we all run. This also comes down to this. Emotions and thoughts are very contagious for us as a species. Now, if I'm feeling really happy right now, if I'm feeling really excited, it comes through on the camera. You guys can feel it. You guys can feel that excitement coming through me. Literally as I'm talking to you, I'm pulling it up and I'm getting goosebumps. Can you feel that energy? Can you feel the energy through the camera? It's because as a species, we're contagious as fuck. Now, this is what I mean. Not just through emotions, but through thoughts. Now, everybody likes to think that they're separate, that they're an island, that they were not so cold into thinking like the tribe, that they're not so simple-minded. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Us as a species, we are built to be tribe-like. You become who you're around. If you were born in Nazi Germany back in the early 1920s, 1930s, you would become a Nazi.
The point Denton is trying to make is that if you grew up in Nazi Germany, you would become a Nazi because everyone else around you is. You are built to absorb and integrate into the culture you are born into. No one is impervious to groupthink. He is not in any way promoting some Nazi agenda propaganda. Now, if you still find yourself offended, you can go
Your brain is built to pick up on hierarchy. Us more so than other animals. Now, every animal has a system of hierarchy in their head. If you guys ever look up Jordan Peterson or read his book, he talks a lot about lobsters. And he talks about how lobsters give off different signals. Now, I'm not going to go too much into depth on this, but you are very able to tell where you're at in the tribe. Now, when I was younger, I was constantly hunched over, looking at the ground. I'd have a hard time giving people eye contact, talking in a tone that had pauses, that had changing in pitch and tone, that was willing to travel and talk from a good distance, where I could talk and project to somebody else across the room. For me, when I was younger, this would be fucking tough. This would be hard. However, nowadays, I've worked a lot at this. I've approached tens of thousands of people in my pursuit to be better with women. And I kind of, over a period of time, wore this down and worked myself into a new character and a new personality. Now, the problem is that your brain, you think that you're still in the tribe of 25 to 50, which is the average tribe size that a Homo sapien for the past 200,000 years was in. Nowadays, we're in a tribe of 8 billion. And you see Post Malone, you see a fucking rock star, you see a movie star, and you're pissed that you're not getting the same level of woman. And you start beating up on yourself. Problem is, in a tribe of 25 to 50, you guys would be very close-knit and very family-like. You would know everybody. However, nowadays, if you get any little bit of negative feedback from your outside world, from your tribe, you think you're fucked because you have a possibility of getting kicked out. However, you don't realize this tribe is impossible to get kicked out of. Barring, fucking doing something illegal, it's impossible to get kicked out of this tribe. So your brain goes into scarcity mode. It thinks it's about to get kicked out of this tribe. And you see like all these fucking movie stars and you're like, oh my God, in comparison to these guys, I'm so far below them. I'm not getting fucking panties thrown at me. You're like, I'm not getting panties thrown at me. I'm not getting all these fucking sexy, super fucking hot model women. No, I'm getting these average women. And so you start beating yourself up. You start knocking yourself down in this hierarchy until you think that you're nothing but a lowly little scrub. And that's not true. Unfortunately for you, your monkey brain doesn't understand that you're in a tribe of 8 billion. It doesn't have the mental faculty to understand this. So this is a part of you have to start being really easy on yourself with. And it's also why I say jealousy is a really fucking big killer of happiness and positivity. Now, this dissonance is how egos develop. Now, I'm going to go into a very specific subject. Now, we're not taught in today's culture that you can grow or become something better or more. It's like this this dissonance. You have a very set intelligence. You have a very set attractiveness. You have a very set ability to do a certain subject and to do it very well, that you can't improve. Now, us as a species, we're built to improve. We're built to master things. You see these fucking hands? These hands were built over 2 million years to mold things, to cut things, to feel the rock, to like fucking pull that net and feel the net and feel the fucking fish that are filling that net. We're built to like fucking have this tacit understanding for things. And we lose out on that in today's society. We don't think that we're worthy of doing something or mastering a certain thing because you didn't have that natural inclination to do it. Now, this is bullshit. You can get good at whatever the fuck you want to get good at. You know why? Because we are built to be adapters. We adapt. You're not born a master in something. You become a master in it by studying it and working at it. And the same way that a Doberman loves to dig, loves to bury holes, loves to chase sticks, we love to master things. And I feel like a lot of people have missed out on that. Now, if you're finding yourself very depressed in today's society, find something that you love doing and master the ever-living shit out of it. Become the best at it. This was where you're going to find happiness. Now, like I said, you don't think that you can get this though. You don't think you can become smarter. You don't think you can become better looking. You don't think that you can become more engaging, charismatic. You don't think that you can build a company or build this certain skill set that you think you need to become a better person. Now, I'm here to tell you that's fucking bullshit, first and foremost, okay? But I'm gonna help you guys draw some lines here, okay? Now, let's say you didn't have me telling you that that's bullshit, that you're born a certain way, that you're born with certain talents that you can't change, all right? Let's say, for example, you don't think that you can make more money. Let's say that you don't think you can make more money, that you're built to make a certain amount of money and you can't make any more, okay? So now you're built like this. Now you start feeling like you're less because everybody else is making so much more around you. At least they're telling you they are. However, they're going to be doing the same thing you are. building up a fake facade. You're telling everybody how good you are at making money. You tell people that you could make a lot of money. However, you're not greedy. So you built up this fake facade to protect you. Now, the second that somebody threatens this fake facade, you get very insecure and you lash out and get angry. The same way that somebody that's very into religion, if you attack them about this, they get very pissed at you because they built their intelligence based on their religion. Their religion is protecting their intelligence. The second you attack their religion, they think you're attacking their intelligence and they get really pissed at you. This is what an ego is. Now, for those of you guys who are watching this video, you need to fucking get rid of this thing in front of you, okay? This thing is not helping you out. Ultimately, you have to understand that you're a very adaptable creature and you can ultimately become intelligent if you want. You can become rich. You can become better with women. You can become a master in anything that you want to pursue to that extent. This is something that I learned about myself to help me motivate myself to do things I didn't want to do. Okay, so there's two different yous. There's you when you're in a really fucking good, just really fucking quick-witted mood. And there's you when you're in a really down, low energy, just super fucking sluggish mood, where you're just nothing but negative energy. Now, this is how you notice which mood you're in. When you're in a higher mood, you're nothing but positive and good energy. You're nothing but happiness. You're nothing but love. When you're in this mood, your brain is going a lot faster. Okay, this is kind of more of an alpha mindset. Now, people have this mindset that an alpha is this guy that's like fucking James Bond, that's impenetrable. Now, this person is lofty and, how do I explain it? It's just not reasonable. Like, there's nobody that can actually become this person. And people are striving so hard to become this person, and it's not something that you can actually do. However, you can become the best you. You become the best loving, caring individual. And a true alpha in a tribe of 25 to 50 will be that person that loves everybody, that thinks that everybody's his best friend. This is high level you. This person is smart, very quick-witted, and he knows the answers to everything. Now, there's low self. This low self is very jealous. He's very sad. He's angry at people. He gets pissed in traffic. You get cut off, you're like, fuck you. How dare you cut me off? I'm so pissed at you. Instead of being like, well, that person's trying the best they can. And if I put my energy there, I'm taking energy away from my purpose. Instead, you're like, fuck you. You get pissed. This is low self. Now, you have to understand when you're in high and low self. When you're low self is not allowed to make any decisions for you. This person's only job is to follow through with what high self tells him he has to do. Now, this is a very complex subject. If you guys want to learn more about this, I have another video on this channel. I'll link it in the comment section below, but it's a pretty advanced topic. The next thing is willpower is finite. Now, this is something that everybody, again, gets an ego about, that they have infinite willpower. Now, sorry to break it for you guys, nobody has infinite willpower. Now, I'll say this, if you have lock-in into something, you can infinitely do something without burning willpower. If you love sales and you're a salesman, a car salesman, you can do it infinitely. If you're somebody that loves doing YouTube videos, if you love making content, if you love teaching, if you love helping people out, you love going out in social situations and approaching women, you can do it infinitely. Because it is your lock-in. Now for you, you need to find out where your lock-ins are. What can you do infinitely? What does your brain think is going to get you love from the tribe? Now, I'm going to say this, you can hack this. The way you hack it is to show your brain how the connections between love and this gets you that. Oftentimes what I'll do if I want to do something is I'll find an idol in a certain area and I'll start loving them. So for example, when I wanted to get into sales, who did I watch a lot of? I watched a lot of the Wolf of Wall Street. I watched a lot of his videos, I watched his sales videos, I watched this movie, and I taught myself how, if I become this character, that I can get love from my tribe. Now by doing this, I hacked into this and became a great salesman. Now you can do the same thing. Find idols in an area that you want to learn from and lock into it. It will teach you how to have fun in that section. This ultimately, I think, is best to find your natural lock-ins, the things that you think from a childhood that you were good at, and to really hammer home those. But if you need to, this is a really good little hack that you can do to really force something. Now, like I said, you do not have infinite willpower. Now, I'm gonna teach you a couple other tricks to help yourself maneuver this. For example, if you don't want to eat bread, if you don't want to eat grains, don't put the grains or the bread in front of you. You don't have the willpower, just sit a piece of bread in front of you and not eat it. So if you go to somewhere like an Italian food place, tell them you don't want bread on the table. Tell them that bread is not something you want in front of you. Now, how easy is it not to eat the bread? Pretty goddamn easy. If you don't have chocolate in the cupboards, how hard is it for you to get your chocolate? Don't put the fucking thing in front of you. If you don't want to burn the willpower up, forcing yourself not to eat it, it's best just for it not to be in front of you. You are just gonna become whoever you're around. Now, this is very important for you to understand about yourself. Why? Because if you hang around losers, what are you going to become? You're going to become a loser. If you hang around super successful people, you're going to become super fucking successful. If you hang around guys that are really good with women, you become good with women. This is just simply how we work. Now, this is something you got to understand about yourself. It's something that I had to learn about me. This is a really simple way to hack yourself. If you want to hack your mentality and you want to hack who you think you are, do this. Hang around what you want to be. Now, the next thing we're going to get into is victim mentality. Now, victim mentality is the big killer for everybody. If you wanted to be successful and you didn't become successful, it's for this fucking reason right here, because you've put your focus where you didn't have any control. You focused on the things where you were just getting fucked over. Like, it could be like as simple as, I was born to a poor background. I was born as this certain race. I was born as a certain sexuality. I was born as a woman and now I'm fucked over. You focus on what you don't have control over instead of what you do have control over. You're like, this is how life is fucking me over. And you build yourself this narrative and it fucking holds you in place. Now, if you truly, truly want to get out of your spot or location in life, what do? You focus on what you do have control over. Now me, I didn't have a lot of control over my life. At least I didn't feel like I did when I was in my early teens. And I had to teach myself through trial and error how to kind of, again, grab that steering wheel and take control of my life. Now, the way that I learned to do this was by working out. When I started hitting the gym and I started finding myself getting bigger, I saw how the way that I interacted with the world changed the way that things happened. And by working out, this taught me this. The next thing that taught me this was approaching a lot of women. When I approached woman after woman after woman, I found my verbals getting better. I found myself becoming a lighter, more positive entity. I found my quick-witted, like comedic side coming out. I found myself being able to be really sexual and sensual with a woman, holding eye contact, being that man that she truly wants. And I found myself being able to control that. I can control how attractive I am to a woman. Holy shit, this is insane. And then it turned into business. And now I'm making really fucking good money for once. I've never made good money. I've always been really fucking broke. And now that I actually am doing pretty well for myself, I'm ultimately surprised. Now, if I had told myself that I'm fucked, that I had no control of my life, that I couldn't change things, and I focused on the things that I couldn't control, could I fix my life? No, I fucking couldn't have. If you guys are focusing on what you don't have control over, this is where you need to start. This is the first point. This is the point where you need to start really hammering home. Because if you don't fix this and you keep focusing on where you don't have control, focus goes, energy flows. And that flow is going to end you right into a ditch. All right, that's going to end you right into the ditch. And it's going to be really fucking sad life up until the point you die. Now, if you want to change your life, you want to have a happier, more positive, and a better impact on the world, you have to firstly fix this. This next point is actually kind of more like a hodgepodge kind of thing, but this is why you should believe in a God. Now, the reason you should believe in God is not because there necessarily is God, but because of the point before. If you focus on the things you don't have control over, you're going to run yourself into a ditch. It's victim mentality. So if you believe in God, what does this mean? You don't focus on death. You don't focus on things that are out of your control. You assume that everything in your life is predestined or preordained, that the things in your life are going to ultimately work out for themselves as long as you become and remain a good person. If you have this belief, can you see how this belief, in the context of where focus goes, energy flows, that it would help you become more successful? This is why a lot of millionaires and billionaires believe in God. Okay, now this next point is how to build habits. Now, as you guys see behind me, I work very heavily on where my focus goes. I work very heavily on all this shit. This is actually my wall facing my bed. So every morning I wake up and I look at this thing. Now, it's covering my entire wall, if you guys can't see. I have different stuff over here about how much money I want to make, about how to control my energy, focus on success, not failure, visualization, everything is fun, everything is positive. Like focusing on these things, and I put my energy here. Now, the first thing I want to point out is, if you want to build a habit, firstly, build the habit of showing up to said habit. All right, so if I want to focus on the habit of everything is fun, that everybody's a loving, caring human being, I make it really easy for me to remember this is something I'm working on. I put it everywhere. All right, so because focus goes, energy flows. Everybody's my best friend. Now, this is a habit that's in my head. Now, this is another thing. If you fall off the horse on a habit, the biggest thing is that you just get back on the horse. If you fall off the horse, you get right the fuck back on. Everybody always falls off. It's just a matter of how do you handle it. Then audit it. Look at why you fell off the horse to begin with, and make sure the reason you fell off the horse the first time is not the reason you fall off the horse the next time. This is what I do in my everyday life. And this is why my life is constantly getting better and better and better. This is a video that I hope truly helps you guys out. This is all the stuff that led me to become this lighter, more positive human being. If I didn't learn the information I just gave you guys, I would still be a very depressed human being. Now, I know ultimately that a lot of you guys are not where you want to be. Now, firstly, implement what I'm talking about, okay? Really fucking take this to heart, all right? A lot of it is my own theory, okay? But try it out, okay? Be open to this. The biggest thing that I find is that, like the Dunning-Kruger effect, people that don't know anything think they know everything. Now, if you're at this point where you haven't studied this to build your intrapersonal intelligence and you think that you know everything, suspend reality for a little bit. Try some of these things that I've mentioned in this video, because I promise you, they help me out a lot. And I hope they help you out just as equally. You have control of your life. If you guys want something better, be better, all right? Whatever your external world is, it is a reflection of the internal. If you want to fix your outside, fix you first, all right? And I hope that I gave you guys the keys to figure this out. All right, guys, and with that being said, peace out.
Yeah, I flow like a river, I'm a big wave. And they say the kid is sick enough to spit AIDS. Get paid, leave a brother limping if he bitch made. Reaching for my trigger while I stick you with a switchblade. Real players never get played. Always getting bitches, I've been pimping since the 5th grade. Listen to the kid, he's just so vicious how he spits rage. Wishing you could diss somebody, rips it like a slip page. Yeah, see I spit it on a nightly. Got the kind of flow that's